On February 28, 2025, in a small farming community in Enugu State, Nigeria, a mother and her only son were harvesting cassava when their lives changed forever. The son, 29-year-old Donatus Ndubisi, would not return home that day. This is a story. In the quiet community of Amofia Umuhu Ehamufu in Enugu State, Donatus Ndubisi had come home from the state capital to visit his widowed mother. Finding she had gone to harvest cassava from their farm, he decided to help her out. A simple act of filial love. While mother and son walked together in their farm settlement, they were suddenly ambushed. As they tried to flee, Donatus was shot in the back. He died there, on the land his family had farmed for generations. The attackers, reportedly Fulani herdsmen, disappeared back into the bush, leaving a devastated mother cradling her only child, the second family member she had lost to violence. Known affectionately as Ofunwa, Donatus was a 29-year-old student at the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ASUT. He was also a skilled solar energy technician, building a future for himself and his mother through education and practical work. As an only child to a widowed mother, Donatus carried both the responsibility and the hope of his family. His father had previously been killed by similar violence in the community, making Donatus not just a son, but his mother's entire support system and legacy. His visit home that February day was brief, just checking in on his mother before returning to his studies in Enugu. But that simple expression of care cost him his life. The killing of Donatus sparked outrage throughout Ehamufu. On March 1, thousands of women from several autonomous communities took to the streets in protest. Their demonstration coincided with Donatus' funeral, where he was laid to rest amidst tears and profound grief. Samuel Ede, a community leader, described the murder as the height of the carnage that has been going on in Ehamufu since 2021, pointing to a pattern of violence that has devastated the region. The protest by the women of Ehamufu was not just for Donatus, but for all the victims of violence in their community. It was a collective cry for justice and security in a region where famine, the community's livelihood, has become increasingly dangerous. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this tragedy is the plight of Donatus' mother. Having already lost her husband to similar violence, she has now lost her only child and support. The farm that was meant to sustain her has become the site of her greatest loss. On Friday, February 28, as she buried her son, she also buried her family line and much of her hope for the future. The community has rallied around her, but nothing can fill the void left by the death of her only son. Donatus' story is tragically not unique. Communities around Nigeria's Middle Belt and southern regions have reported similar attacks on farming settlements. In Ehamufu alone, approximately 28 farm settlements have been abandoned due to security concerns. People are being intimidated, killed, and chased out by Fulani herdsmen from their own ancestral lands, while federal and state governments appear silent on the issue. These perceived inactions has deepened community distrust of government institutions and heightened ethnic tensions. Local political tensions have further complicated matters. So when women from several communities protested against the attacks, The council chairman of Isuzo local government area, Mr. Obiora Obiago, reportedly dismissed their concerns, claiming no one had been killed by herdsmen. A statement made even as Donato's family prepared for his funeral. The story of Donatus Ndubisi is more than a tragedy. It is a call for accountability in action. It raises difficult questions about security in rural Nigeria, the protection of family communities, and the response of the local and federal government to the needs of its citizens. As Donatus was laid to rest in his homeland, surrounded by a grieving community, his death serves as a reminder of human cost behind headlines about insecurity and ethnic tensions. For those who knew and loved him, he wasn't a statistic. He was a son, a student, a skilled worker, and a young man with his life ahead of him. For his mother, who has lost everything to violence, and for the community that continues to live under the shadow of insecurity, the quest for justice continues.